Alright, so this is the next game in our campaign of Tyranids versus Tau. Another game of Tyranids and Tau, third game in a row like that, but that's how it works. And the Tyranids are invading the Tau world, though the Tau do have Eldar allies this game. Alright, in the last game, the Eldar helped Tau get information on a way to create a serum that can destroy the Tyranids, and that here, what they're trying to do in these science bases is how to make it spread from like a Hormigaunt to a Termagant to like a warrior and to a hive tyrant and kill them all the same being very easily. And the Tyranid's objective is to stop them in these science bases. Tau are trying to hold them back because on turn 3 we're rolling a dice. On a 3+, the Tau successfully made a serum to where it can spread close range between different Tyranid organisms. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but it at least works enough times, like 50% of the time, where it will spread between them. Just more field tests will be able to make a for sure accounting that it does work 100% of the time. But they have, and that's what the Tyranid are trying to stop. Every time one of these hubs where there's scientists working inside on these little gaunts are destroyed, then it will go down by 1. So if 1 is destroyed, it'll be a 4+ on turn 3. If 2 are destroyed, it'll be a 5+ on turn 3. Alright, these Tau do have some Eldar allies that are helping them. They're in reserve. And once the serum has been made on turn 3 or possibly turn 4, if the Eldar reserves haven't come on, they'll instantly come on. And then from there, the Tau or the Eldar have a new objective to not only survive, but to try to test it on this digestive pool to see if you inject it in there, that when new Tyranids are created, they will be infected by the disease and then they will die and spread it to other Tyranids, whatever, and they'll die as well. So that'll be another objective, but that's after the serum has been created on turn 3. So the Tau objective: hold the Tyranids back from these posts while the Tyranids are trying to break through. Tau are going first, Tyranids are going second, and then we'll go through the lists. Okay, here's my list. It is 2,000 points of Tyranids versus Tau Eldar allies. 10 gargoyles here, no upgrades. 10 Termagants, no upgrades. Zoanthrope, who has Onslaught, 4 Blast, and Dominion. Squad of 13 Hormigants, all lined up here. Carnifex, with renal glands and 2 sets of Twinling Devourers. Malanthrope, Exocrine, Hive Tyrant with wings, 2 sets of Twinling Devourers. 10 Termagants, no upgrades. Hormigants also have no upgrades. 3 Warriors with a Barbed Strangler. 3 Biovores. Another Malanthrope, another squad of 10 gargoyles that stretch all the way over there. Flying Hive Tyrant with 2 sets of Twinling Devourers. 2 Hive Guard. Carnifex with Adrenal Glands, 2 sets of Twinling Devourers. Squad of 11 Hormigants, no upgrades. Squad of 12 Hormigants, no upgrades. And another Malanthrope. Psychic powers, go over. This guy has Onslaught and Catalyst, also Dominion. This Hive Tyrant has Catalyst, Horror, Dominion, and he is the Warlord. And he got Night Fighting, Night Attacker.
Okay, and here is my list. If Greendawnify did not say, this is 2,000 points. My main force obviously is Tau. And I'll start here in this first scientific building. I have 4 Pathfinders right there at the edge of the building. In front, I have 8 Fire Warriors. Behind the building, I have 3 Crisis Suits. One has 2 burst cannons. The other 2 actually have fusion guns and plasma rifles, or plasma guns right there. I have 1 Devilfish, no upgrades. Actually, they have the missile pods. Another group, this is my main warlord right here, the commander. He has that full range of abilities from last game. He has 3 crisis suits with missile pods and 6 marker drones. His actual powers, Iridium armor, drone controller, multi-spectrum suit, pure tide chip, command control node, and vector retro thrusters. And so that's that main group right there. He also has the ability to inspire, so everyone within a certain range gets to use his leadership. I do have one Riptide this turn. He has actually I'm using the big burst cannon, heavy burst cannon this game. Instead, usually I do the ion accelerator, but using the burst cannon this game. He has a twin-linked plasma guns right there. Another Devilfish, the same build out as the first one. And to finish off my list, have another group of 4 Pathfinders and a broadside group. One of them has target lock and velocity tracker. In reserve, I have a Wave Serpent. Inside the Wave Serpent are 10 Guardians. In addition, I have 2 groups of 4 jet bikes. One jet bike group is led by the Farseer. Another jet bike group is led by the Warlock. This Warlock has psychic powers of Conceal Reveal. And my Farseer actually has he has Fortune, he has Precognition, and he has Guide. So those guys are in reserve, and that completes my list, and we'll come back with the actual game.
And this is after town movement, and he has shot all his marker lights as well. We decided to wrap up movement here.
Okay, so for movement, I moved my Fire Warriors up here. I moved this group of Crisis Suits up 6 inches right there. I just shimmied, just moved those little tanks a little bit. Everyone else stood still, and then as Greendawnify said, I shot marker lights. I actually got 6 marker lights from these 2 Pathfinder groups against this non-flying Hive Tyrant. He's standing on the ground, and then I get 6 marker drones from this group against him. So I've just shot these marker drones, so I'm going to go ahead and start with these shooting, but we'll come back and we'll discuss.
Alright, end of Tau shooting phase and assault moves. As you see, the Riptide moved there. Those Crisis Suits moved back. So did those Crisis Suits with their assault moves.
Yes, it was actually a very, very successful shooting phase. The Tau used their Pathfinders and their missile marker drones to basically marker that flying Hive Tyrant, killed him, and he's basically he's dead. So that was actually First Blood and Warlord. And after shooting,
what killed him? It was these Crisis Suits.
Yeah, the Crisis Suits
and Monster Hunter
had Monster Hunter, so they were able to reroll wounds. They used I had 12 marker lights against them, and they were able to use other marker lights, the marker lights of the Pathfinders, and used 6 of them, and they basically just rerolled to wound, and he died. So very good shooting. The other thing that happened, just really quick, the Fire Warriors and I think one of the Crisis Suits shot over there and killed maybe 3 little gargoyles. There may have been 1 more gargoyle that died from this the burst cannon on this tank, but that's really all that happened. I did take 1 more wound away from that Tyranids monster there. It's
Zoanthrope.
Zoanthrope.
Supposed to be Zoanthrope, but I dropped him and he broke, so this Tyrant guard will fill in as a Zoanthrope. He lost a wound.
So after that was said, I assaulted back, and it's turn 1 is over for the Tau.
Tyranids, we decided the Tyranids cannot charge turn 1 since they're so close. We did set it up this way to make it more thrilling or more of a thing for the Tau to protect their bases. See if they were able to. Movement phase, did also my running for a lot of my units. As you can look here how I moved my guys. Hive Tyrant is flying. Not a lot of charge turn 1 even though I'm pretty close. Psychic phase, failed onslaught on this guy once. Second time I passed it, but it was denied. And I got Catalyst off on the Hive Tyrant and this squad of gargoyles. It's not going to shooting phase. Alright, my shooting phase was very good. Here, this Carnifex shot blew out the wall in here, so now my Tyranids can go in there. How you destroy a hub, we haven't clarified. If a Tyranid unit goes inside, and he basically, in the turn, he wipes out all the scientists in there, and they aren't able to send in their findings. So that's how they do it. So now the Tyranids can go in. Broadside was killed, and the broadsides went to ground. The actual crown shot at them. There he is right there. Hive Tyrant shot, killed a crisis suit and put a wound on him. Biovores blew up all the drones and one crisis suit. What else? Oh yeah, all these Fire Wars were destroyed by this Hive Tyrant, or not Hive Tyrant, but a Carnifex, and that wall was blown out by these Hive Guard. So now my Tyranids can go in them next turn too. And that was all the shooting that happened. All leadership tests were made, so that's good. And so now going into Tau turn 2, we'll be rolling for the Eldar coming in.
Okay, started the second phase. I start with the reserves. I did get all my reserves on, so that's 4 jet bikes right there with the Warlock, 4 jet bikes right there with my Farseer. I position my Wave Serpent right there. I have to roll for my psychic powers. We'll talk about that in a second. But other movement, moved these crisis suits up right there inside the building. Moved the 2 Fire Warriors down in front of that hole. Also in movement, I moved the Devilfish up right there and popped those Fire Warriors 6 inches. There's that hole right there that they're trying to protect. Over on the other side of the board, moved my Devilfish and my Riptide up 6 inches. I tried to get overcharge, Nova Charge off. I lost a wound. The Riptide were there. Those 8 Fire Warriors jumped out. And last thing over there, my broadside is protecting that hole in the wall. And I actually forgot to say that those the commander and his group basically moved to within cover. So that's the end of my movement.
Alright, in the psychic phase, the Eldar, this Farseer got off precognition and fortune to these guys who turbo boosted over there. Now we're on to the rest of the Tau shooting and Eldar shooting.
Okay, recapping shooting. There were 10 gargoyles right here. 9 of them were killed. Basically what I did was I used these Pathfinders. I actually got just 1 marker light. I improved the ballistic skill of this group of 8 Fire Warriors. So the combination of the 8 Fire Warriors, the 2 Crisis Suits, and then, yeah, basically those things basically shot and killed 9 of those guys. I think I did take out a couple of these gargoyles, not gargoyles, I'm sorry, but these little hormagaunts with my Devilfish right here. Moving on this side of the table, there was actually a group of 10 or 12 gargoyles, whatever the case. They're all dead. I used my Pathfinders here to boost the ballistic skill of my snap shooting broadside, so he's hitting on 4s, so I was able to take out a bunch of those guys with the broadside, the combination of these Fire Warriors here, and those were killed. In shooting, I used my Wave Serpent right here, took some cover saves away, killed some more of the hormagaunts, and the last thing I did was I shot my Riptide and basically killed some of those hormagaunts. I'm going to try to make a long charge. It'll be like a 9. Last thing in shooting, to recap, I did shoot my command group at the Flying Hive Tyrant. I needed 6s, but I did put 1 wound, but he made a save. So other than that, we're going to come back and see if I make this charge distance, and we'll come back with that recap.
Alright, here in the assault phase, I lost like 3 guys, 3 hormagaunts, and all from impact hits and guys being punched by the Riptide.
They're still locked in combat.
Still locked in combat.
Over here,
assault moves, right?
Yeah, assault moved back there. I had like a 7. Over here, assault moved 5, and these guys assault moved 9. So jet bikes are here. These guys are crisis suits are on top.
Alright, movement and psychic phase. I and some run. Actually, no, there was no running in this turn, but there will be some running. I did for psychic powers. I got onslaught off on this Carnifex, so he's gonna run, so he can shoot. And I did get warp blast off here, but the broadside who's in the dark went to ground and made his cover save, sadly. And here, yeah, on my movement, people are getting close to charging. That one gargoyle went back there to take all the overwatch, so good for him. Guys moved here to surround the Riptide, keep them locked in. I'm going to go into shooting. And the Tyranid shooting phase took out all these Tau. Only one guy left. Took a wound away from this broadside. Took out the Pathfinders here. Took out a crisis suit up there and took a whole point away from the Devilfish. That's all I did. Now going into charges. I charge this broadside. Charge the Riptide. Do a bunch of charges over here. And we'll see what happens after this. Alright, an assault, good turn. Here, I lost 2 Hormigons, but put another wound on the Riptide. Here in Overwatch, my Zoanthrope was killed, but I did kill the broadside and assault of the Termagants. They ran in, killed the scientists, so this hub has been destroyed. And so that's going to be a 4+ at the end of this turn to see if the serum has been created instead of a 3+. The Hive Tyrant is on there, but I had to take the disc off. So he's not really right there. Over here, the Fire Wars stayed true, but they lost a lot of their number, lost 5 guys. And over here didn't do anything to the Fortune jet bikes, but I lost a lot in Overwatch, lost 4 in Overwatch, and nothing else though. And that's it for my assault and shooting phase. So now going into, we'll come back for the roll. Alright, a 4+ is needed to make the serum. 6. Good. Even though Robert, the Tau scientist, was brutally eaten alive, his work was useless. He was a bad scientist, so it doesn't matter for his loss. The serum has been created. Now a new objective is, so the serum, we know the serum is now able to, kill Tyranids, but now we need to test it in the field, make sure that it's good at spreading. So now the new objective for the Tau and the Eldar is to try and inject it into this digestion pool and see that it will spread to the ones that the digestion pool creates and to other Tyranids around it.
Okay, movement and psychic phase is over. I went ahead and moved my Devilfish 6 inches, and that enabled these 2 Fire Warriors to jump in. So they're right there. I have to move this guy, actually. He's going to move right there. He's moving there, 6 inches. My other Devilfish, the lone Fire Warrior, jumped in there, and it moved there 6 inches. My command group jumped up right there, moved up 6 inches. My Wave Serpent moved over here 6 inches, and my Jet Bikes moved right there 12 inches. I tried to get Fortune and Precognition off, and I didn't roll enough. I didn't even get stuff. He didn't have to deny. I just failed. And so now I'm going to go into shooting and the run phase, and we'll come back and see what happens. Eldar in the lead. Hopefully they could do something right here. Okay, end of my Tau shooting phase, Tau and Eldar shooting phase. First off, I used my Pathfinders and got 2 marker lights off on the Biovores, so it took away their cover. Then my entire army, the Crisis Suit, the Devilfish, and those command group, the command group of the Crisis, shot. They had no cover save, and basically I killed every single one of them. And so that group is dead. The only other thing that I shot was my devilfish, and I took 1 wound away from the warrior. Just to be complete, I did use my wave serpent as well with the serpent shield, which helped take away cover, obviously. And again, those guys are dead. These jet bikes right here, I turbo boosted to 36 inches, so moved them 12, moved them, turbo boosted them 36, so they are within sight. The Farseer has his sights on that digestion pond over there. And we're going to go ahead and roll some assault moves and then finish up some of these assault attacks, and we'll come back.
Alright, end of assault. Killed the fire warriors here. Consolidated. These 4 guys killed 1 guardian jet bike. Didn't kill anyone back. They made their leadership. And over here, the Riptide killed the last Hormagon, and I didn't do anything to the Riptide, but he's still stuck there. Now going into Tyranids turn 3. Alright, end of movement and psychic phase. Move these guys out of the vehicle, or out of the hub. Move the Carnifex up. High time moved over here. Cast Catalyst, got it off. Onslaught was denied. These guys forward. Move those Hormagons to take out that Crisis Suit. Carnifex to take out the vehicle. And so on. Now going into shooting phase. A new challenge was added to the Farseer's already considerable challenge. These digestive pools spawn some new guys. Gonna have to destroy them. Shouldn't be that hard though. Just some guys. And now going in, I'll go over what happened in my shooting phase.
I can't even do that.
Okay, so in my shooting phase, took out all these crisis suits except for the commander. Took a whole point away from this devilfish, this Carnifex, gonna try to charge. This guy's probably these Termagants are probably gonna try to charge that guy just for fun. The wave serpent was destroyed by the Hive Guard, so that's good for them. Really good. Nothing happened to that devilfish, and that's all that happened in my shooting phase. Now we're gonna go into do some charges and do some charges here. All right, end of assault. Nothing happened here. Charged, blew up the devilfish, but the 1 fire warrior inside survived. Here, Carnifex did the same thing. No one was hurt again by the explosion. Malanthrope charged into the bikes, didn't do anything, and Hormagons killed the Crisis Suit. So now we're going into Tau turn 4.
Okay, end of the Tau turn. We did everything here. Did marker lights to try to boost the ballista skill of these 2 fire warriors who had moved back. They shot at this thing, did not wound. Over here, that fire warrior moved back as far as he could. The commander moved back as far as he could, and then he assault moved away. In assault, I killed 1 more Termagant right there. And over in this phase, the Eldar shot and killed 5 of those Hormagons. They move forward, and they're really close to that digestion pool. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those Tyranid Termagants still there, but Eldar are very close to getting their objective complete.
Movement, moved all these guys to take out this Riptide. This Riptide has actually survived every game. Hopefully not this game though. This game it will not survive. Move these guys up. Here I ran over one of the surviving Tau warriors. He died. Psychic phase, cast Catalyst, and that was it. Go to shooting. Shooting, killed those Pathfinders and killed these Fire Warriors. Shot at Commander Dauntless, but didn't do anything. Here my Termagants died charging in, so they consolidated forward. Here this Riptide only has 1 wound left. My Carnifex ripped up his back, And Riptide didn't do anything in response. He's being surrounded.
He killed one Termagant.
Killed one Termagant.
Yeah, that's all.
Another Guardian was brought down over here. And going into Tau turn 5. That was the end of turn 4. So the Eldar have administered the toxin or the disease into this digestive pool as a more larger test to make sure that it properly works and to, passing the disease off into other spawning creatures. They see that they're coming out, they're like, and then just kind of die. So it is a success. The Tau and the Eldar have successfully made sure that this toxin works and that it's successful at doing what they want. So now they can do other things with it to try to hit the main digestive pools where the Tyranids are mostly flowing out of. And so that's good there. The Riptide has fallen, brought down by the swarm of monstrous creatures, mostly the Carnifex and most of the wounds. And alright, let's roll to see if the game ends. Alright, the game ends on a 1. So the game has ended, and so we know that the Eldar here have injected the serum toxin that the Tau made at their labs. The Tau successfully held the Tyranids back long enough for their scientists, except for the scientist in here, he was brutally murdered. The scientists were able to create a toxin. They handed it off to the Eldar.
There's scientists still in here, I forgot.
I know, yeah, there's two scientists still alive. But they handed off to the Eldar. The Farseer went over here, testing it out, making sure it works. And it did. It did work. It's able to, it was spread between different Tyranids, so if this guy had it, he would die. Spread it to those guys. Those guys would die. This guy would die. But, anyways.
That's for future use.
That's for future. And now the Tau have a way they can, arm nuclear bombs and, shoot them at main digestive pools with, a high concentration of Tyranids, and, they'll just spread from there. They can do it all over the world, to spread. Now the Tau actually have a way to get rid of the Tyranids on the planet.
In a mass extinction type scale, instead of shooting with pulse weapons.
Yeah, and losing a bunch of guys in these little battles.
One thing I would add, though, for the Eldar, if you notice, there's still 10 Guardians there. The driver of the Wave Serpents died, and 3 Jetbikes. So for the Eldar, this was a good way to help the Tau kill Tyranids, have them a better chance to hurt the Tyranids. But there's still an ulterior motive. Obviously, the Eldar are not doing this just to be friendly, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, now the Eldar also have a way if they need to get rid of the Tyranids on this planet, because no one likes Tyranids running around everywhere killing things. So this is the end of the game. It was for the game wise, the Tyranids ran around killing everyone, but for the real mission of this battle, the Town Eldar won. But I guess at face value, the Tyranids won. Thanks for watching. We'll be back. Next game will be different. No Tyranids in it at all. It's gonna be a surprise, a crazy one.